The future is now with Lumibricks Cyberpunk Bus. Thank you, Lumibricks, for sending me this set for review. We're going to jump on into the pros and cons to see if it's going to be worth your money. This set retails for $40 US or around $50 Canadian. Let's jump into it. This is GF Bricks, and you're watching Brick Reflections. So as we dig into this set, we can see that it is lit up here, and that it does come with a USB battery connector for your external battery box here. It does also come with a watch battery battery box that you can actually slip right into the back here. As we've seen, it is actually just located right here. It also comes with an additional wire that does feed out and plug directly into it. I don't typically keep watch batteries on hand, and therefore I am using the USB battery bank. Some of the things to note about this set actually is the myriad of colors that they have. You have some green here and some red for the canisters at the back, some more trans red. You've also got a bit of white, some black, and then you've got a yellow toolbox underneath here. But then we start getting into, your purple, and then you have your trans blue here. So this is one of the cons that I've actually going to note out on this set, is that there are too many different colors. I think they would have done a much better job if they had used a navy blue instead of a purple. I think it would have just blended in much better with everything. You've got a little trans purple wheels on the bottom here. You've got the purple frame in the window, the purple around the little jets. Now, as a play feature, which is we're moving into a pro for the set here, these jets do come out and they flip around. This is meant to be a flying vehicle, which does lean heavily into their future theme. So I think they've done a great job with this here. All four pop out, and then these wheels, they do click down almost as if they were a landing gear of sorts. So it is interesting for sure. I personally wouldn't turn the wheels in like that. I personally like them a lot better if they're out to the side, even with the jets there. But hey, that's personal preference for sure, right? The other play feature that they have here is this. This does pop out. This piece here. I got a little bit of a problem here, and that's okay. Live troubleshooting. This pops out and up, and that's where your little driver sits. We can kind of see inside the cabin there a little bit there. It looks pretty good from this perspective here. I think they could have done a better job of hiding these wires. The way that they had you route these wires was a little interesting. They kind of come down and then they run underneath the sign and then back up and around out. But all in all, I think they've done a pretty good job with the wire routing, especially with their custom wire channels. Another play feature we can point out to is this sliding glass door, which, it's something small, but I did have a good time putting that together. It just kind of sits in between these channels here, top and bottom. And then, of course, we can enter inside here just by lifting off that roof. And we'll get into some more details. But right now, I'm going to point out my second flaw, really, with the set. And that's that their minifigures, they don't have spots to actually clip into the sets. So when they used studded seats like this, it doesn't lend very well to putting the included minifigures in the set. So yeah, that's the other issue that I had with the set. First would be the colors. Second would be the seats. Other than that, it's more personal preference. But they do include all prints. There are no stickers with Lumibricks sets, at least these newer ones here. And then we can see they have a couple more prints. You have a no signal TV, something's going haywire there. And then you have a news reporter. Just to give you guys a little bit more of a closer look as to what the interior build experience looks like. It's a pretty simple build. However, the interior really did have some interesting techniques and parts usage with the Technic elements to kind of house the electrical components, or keep the battery box in place, or the wire channeling, which is unique to Lumibricks. They've really done a great job here. We can see me plugging in some wires for the battery box, the additional connector for the USB, some of these smoke translucent pieces there too. Now, while I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of these minifigures, I would be a little remiss for this review if I did not point them out. As I had said, there's no stud points for the minifigures, and this set actually had uh, a particular problem, at least for me anyway, putting the hands onto the arms specifically, because of their noodliness. I found them quite fiddly to put on, and that's a pretty common complaint in the Lumibricks community. All in all, though, the printing on them is pretty cool. You've got some pretty cool printing on the face. Got some pretty cool printing on the body as well. But yeah, they're the minifigures. We don't want to sit too much on them. They have a lot of room for improvement, and Lumibricks is listening to customer feedback. Now we're moving on to the manual here. They both come in print as well as PDF, and I'm going to say that yes, it's just a manual. Yes, it's just instructions, but Lumibricks does instructions amazingly well, better than any other brand, and I mean any other brand, in my opinion, on the market. And we're going to dig into it, and I'll show you why. Every instruction comes with a service card, so if you're missing a piece or there's a faulty wiring, you have their information right there to be able to request new pieces, replacements. But they also go through troubleshooting. They go through what's included. So in this set, you get their brick separator as well as a screwdriver, which we have here. And the screwdriver is just to remove a screw on the back of the battery box. And here's their brick separator. It's okay. Their brick separator is okay. It works. It's a little too big in my opinion. And I know that they were going for some branding here. They're still using on this set because it came 9060. I believe they're on 9080 right now. They're still using the fun hole, their former name, for branding. So something to keep in mind there. But they are doing a switch over for that. They even show you how to use a brick separator. Safety precautions, because we're dealing with wiring and battery, very low voltage, not really that unsafe or anything like that. But they say, inspection guide. Here's how you check your lights, whether it's with the USB or the battery box. But they're very detailed. And we can see here, putting together the minifigures, it was this particular step here that drove me a little wonky. Though I will say they have started attaching the legs, which is nice. And previous sets that I've had, they have not attached legs, so they are starting to move towards that. But here's what I'm saying though, a one by eight, one by eight, like they just tell you the stud count. They even have things like 1-to-1 scales, so if you have a tile, doesn't have any studs to show you, but you can just set it on there, and if it matches, great. Little quality of life things, they're so simple, but little quality of life things like that go a long way for me. We're in the wiring diagram, right? So we can see it's a single strand, and they have 1 through 5 LEDs, and where they want you to route them. They just do a wonderful job of telling you how to route the wires. So this is what I mean. Their instructions are very, very good. And once again, those do come in print or PDF. As we move into my closing thoughts on the set, we'll just take one more quick look at the exterior of the set and everything that you get with it. You get your watch battery, battery box, screwdriver, brick separator, USB connector for a battery bank or a USB hub. You also get a stand for flying mode, some pretty good play features, as well as a nice manual and a PDF option for it. The Lumibricks Cyberpunk Future Bus set is a very specific set for theme. If you're looking to put this into a cyberpunk building themed city, then yes, this will fit. A downtown core, you might be able to make it work. However, I think it's going to be a miss for a lot of themes or just a generic city in general. Now, with that said, like a lot of these issues, I think could have been remediated if they had a more consistent color scheme, and then the mentioned minifigs being able to properly sit in the seats for playability. It is feature rich with a movable screen, fans or jets that pop out, and then the movable wheels. So you do get some interesting features like that. Having seen the interior stop motion build sequence of the interior of the bus, the manual, what you get with it, the value is there if you're looking for a set theme like this. I hope you guys enjoyed the content that I provided you today. If you do, please leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe to follow for more content. Have yourselves a great day. I appreciate you all.